us and give us a warm welcome, Pastor Michael Anderson.
Y'all clapping like y'all owe me money. We bless God for each of you. Thank God for the work. I'm trying to be off camera. We thank God for the work. Thank God for the work that you do. It is our blessing to be a part of the invitation to have you here. Very important work is going to go on. I see I have a name thing right here, which means I'm supposed to sit down. Oh, Lord Jesus. All right, so that I will do. So welcome, all welcome. God bless you.
Thank you, Pastor. So, why we are here? We're here to talk about some serious, major stuff. Medicaid cuts, as you guys know, right? The economic impact they have, how we organize around it. It's a doom and gloom balance, but with good conversation, strong community, we're able to get past this, of course, with some strategic outreach as well. So a little bit of the background for you guys before we begin our conversation. First, I wanted to thank our panelists. Again, thank you, Pastor Michael Anderson, for having us. Thank you, Laura Callis, CEO of Care Center, which is a free clinic, and our healthcare worker, amazing healthcare worker, Penny Caesar, who works out of HCA West Side. So thank you guys for coming. So a little bit of facts about why we're here. Medicaid cuts. So for Florida, $880 billion proposed national Medicaid cuts can mean $4 billion less in Medicaid funding per year. That's tied for the fourth highest in the nation behind California, New York, and Texas. U.S. Congress and Senate are looking to pass a budget that will cut services to these vital programs. 1 in 5 Americans rely on Medicaid, the joint federal state program that provides health coverage for low-income Americans, including children, mothers, seniors, adults, and adults with disabilities. 4 million residents currently are here enrolled in Florida under Medicaid, Medicare. Medicaid covers 40% of the children and over 40% of all U.S. births, which is phenomenal. Oh, that's my sheet. Medicaid covers 60% of all nursing home residents, as most of our healthcare workers know, and it's the only source of public funding for the home community-based services that allow 4 million people to remain in their homes and communities. Nearly 34% of rural adults rely on Medicaid. Medicaid is critical in rural communities where people are less likely to afford private insurance. As you know, Medicaid cuts will result in hospitals, nursing home, and clinic closures, staff layoffs, leaving vulnerable people without care. As our aging population grows here in the state of Florida, seniors and people with disabilities will lose their home care they depend on. Again, 36 million Americans on Medicaid risk losing their care if Congress imposes unserious and burdensome work requirements which research shows does not actually increase employment. Nearly 2/3 of adult Medicaid recipients already work, and the rest are mainly caring for family, disabled, or going to school. And so that's the nutshell. I mean, if that doesn't upset you, I don't know what will. These services are very vital to the community. Again, if there are no access to those funds that go to the hospitals, everyone's affected. Doctors, nursing homes, nurses, even the patients, which inflow goes into the community. And so that's why we're having this conversation today, to hear from folks who will know how this will be affected. And so again, we'll ask some questions. We'll hear from you guys, and we'll hear from our panelists as we go through these questions. So, the first question is pretty simple, and anyone could grab the mic to answer. You could go in order if you like. So the first question is, who in our communities will be most directly impacted by these cuts? Penny?
My name is Penny Caesar, and I'm a healthcare worker. In this community where I live or reside, most of the people will be affected because most of them are low income. We have a lot of children here, and we have a lot of seniors, and a lot of people who are mentally disabled. So it would affect the majority of this community. because Medicaid pays for their medicines and for their um, office visits to the doctors. And without having Medicaid, we already have enough with people who are on drugs. But when mentally challenged people cannot get their medicine, it's going to be even worse in the community. As well as the seniors. They rely on Medicaid to get their medicines. So without being able to get their medicines with Medicaid, because that pays the Part D part, they can't have their medicines. They already living on a fixed income. So they have to choose between eating or paying for their medicine, or paying their bills, or paying for their medicine. The same with kids. People don't realize that Florida Kids Care is Medicaid. Our children would not be covered. And already we got outbreaks of new diseases coming out. How would we care for those? How would those children get the care they needed? And they are our future. So it would really impact this community as well as every community in the United States.
Thank you, Penny. Laura, from a free clinic standpoint, what do you see how this would affect folks?
Hi, I'm a resident of this community. I live a few miles away, and my child is on Florida Kid Care, and I also run a free clinic for the uninsured working families that are 200% and below the federal poverty level. And Penny's absolutely right. It is the most vulnerable in our community that are going to be impacted. And I have to say that there is already a crisis in Medicaid because, my clinic, we only see uninsured people except in our dental clinic because there are no providers, or a very limited number of providers that are willing to accept that reimbursement rate, especially for pediatric dentists. So we are already facing a lack of access to care for people who are depending on Medicaid and Medicare. We see a lot more Medicare patients in our dental clinic because they have no access in the Medicaid and Medicare network for those reimbursement rates. So clinics like mine are going to see a huge increase at a time when our funding is completely drying up. We are dependent on grants and donations only. We don't get reimbursements or anything from the government. So you are going to have more people coming to free clinics for care and free clinics that are having to cut services. And so where is everybody going to go? They're going to go to the ER. Because when you are in pain, you're going to the emergency room. Where else are you going to go? And that costs all of us money.
Thank you, Laura. Pastor Mike, same question. From a clergy standpoint, who do you see this would affect?
Well, I'll go further than just cleric. I'm a human. And father, grandfather, have to take care of elders. Thing for me is, you asked the question, does it, if that doesn't make you angry, those were the words you said after you ran that off. That's exactly where I live. So if it doesn't make sense in America, somewhere it's making money. Because we too smart. That's all I do. Because we're too smart to be that dumb without being it on purpose. So it's making money someplace else. So because no one should, we know the numbers. No one should be cutting elders' ability to have care. Shouldn't happen. No one should be cutting children's ability to have access to health care. Shouldn't happen. People who are struggling should not have an added burden upon them. That just shouldn't happen, especially if I call my street the greatest block on the planet. And we're the greatest country in the world. It's where we keep cheering. There is zero reason well, we cannot embrace that title at the same time exhibit this behavior. They just don't. The math ain't mathing. So I'm going to this. I don't like wasting my time. I don't do so. I don't want to talk just to be talking. There is money being made someplace to reduce this. Some greedy people are going to make some money, and it comes back to me. Then what are we going to do about it? What are we going to do about it? Can't scream, can't holler. They don't care. What strategies are we going to put in place to make sure that grandparents are taken care of, children are taken care of? And that sounds bold, but one more time, that sounds bold. But for me to say it out loud, somebody who's going to make money call that radical. And then I become a problem. Oh, y'all scared to be problems. Do y'all understand? If you do nothing, you're going to have a problem. So nobody don't mind giving you a problem. So from where I live, how I'm raised, if they're going to give me a problem, I may as well be a problem to the people trying to give me problems. So I'm coming back to us because we know the stats. They're going to be the same when we leave this place. What can change is what are you going to do about it? Okay, so.
Thank you, Pastor. And that's why we're here, right? That's why we're here, to figure out what's the next step, how to strategize. And just like you said, Pastor, pretty much if you're not resisting, you're assisting. And we want to make sure to resist as much as possible. And this takes an emotional toll on folks. As a healthcare worker, Penny, what emotional or psychological toll does this take on people like you, people like your patients?
Well, in the healthcare field, with me, if they were to take away Medicaid, it would really hurt my hospital and other hospitals. Because as Laura was saying, it would hurt her free clinic because everybody be coming there. Then they lose, everybody gonna come to the emergency room. The hospital is not gonna lose that kind of money. I work for a nonprofit hospital. So therefore the state don't give them as much, for a for-profit hospital, I'm sorry. And therefore the state don't give them as much money. They're working to make a profit. And with them making a profit, they're not gonna take that many people with uninsured. And cause they're not gonna just give away health care. So they're gonna lay off people cause we ain't gonna have people to come there. So those workers won't have a job. Those patients with the ratio to staff member is already high. You may have one nurse with 7 patients right now, or 8. But if this cut comes through, you're gonna have 12 patients for one nurse, or more, or more. And right now, the patient is very thin giving the patients the care they're supposed to get. They're already crying about, why it's taking so long for me to get my pain medicine? Why it's taking so long for me to go to the bathroom? Why it's taking so long for me to get fed? Imagine what's gonna happen if this cut comes. People losing their jobs, so now they're in the situation. Cause where they gonna get health care from? They have no job. Then the hospital that you have to go to don't have no staff. So it really is a rippling effect. And they're offering cuts to Medicaid. Where's the solution? Where's the alternative? They're not offering the alternative. And people need to take off blinders and see what's really happening in the world. See, ask the question, what's the alternative of you cutting? Why are you cutting? Get a real answer instead of these roundabout, circle, no answers that are coming forth. We know it's for the wealthy to get more wealthy. Cut some of those high things. Make them pay more taxes, then we don't have to worry about this. Then you got your money that you want. But leave the people alone.
Thank you, Penny. Same thing, Laura. Have you seen any emotional toll or psychological toll from folks in your free clinic that come, that rely on this? Just talking to them, what are their reactions?
I mean, my community, our community is already in crisis with everything that's happening with this administration. I mean, the community is in fear, and there are already concerns about immigration, ICE, the militarization of our police on our young people. And this right here is such a nefarious cut because, as the pastor said, this is a time of action. They're cutting from people who are sick, right, and have no power. So our children aren't voters. They can't vote. Our chronically ill are dependent on their medications and dependent on access to food, healthy food, which they don't even have. So you're going to cut SNAP. You're going to cut all of these things, and that the most disempowered people are going to be affected by, and they are worried. They know we're not living in the greatest country anymore. This is not the greatest country. We are on the Human Rights Watch. And we are going down with maternal health. Don't even get me started, I'm sorry. But as the pastor said, the actions are going to have to come from us that are able-bodied and able to do that for those vulnerable people. So it's community care, it's mutual aid, it's us coming together, because people are scared, they're worried, and they don't have the power. And when you don't have the power, you have to depend on those of us that can raise enough hell and are not afraid, are courageous enough to take the action to do something about it, because people are scared.
Thank you, Laura. Same question to you, Pastor. Have you seen any emotional toll that your clergy members are going through during this time? And we know that times are hard, so this is just the tip of the iceberg for folks. But have you seen folks kind of connecting the dots as to what's really going on?
Well, actually, that's easy. Everybody feels this. This in different ways, everybody feels this. Don't know what to do. A lot of people become afraid. A lot of people ask the question, what are we going to do? What are we going to do? Say that slower. What are we going to do? Laura said that people don't have power. That's not true. That's what they keep trying to have you believe. Yeah. That's what they want you to believe. It's only that, well, we don't know what to do. They're like, thank you for singing our song. No, you have power. The thing of a bully is to make you think you don't have power. The moment you stand up, those bullies will sit down. The moment, but you have to identify. The bullies I could see is not a problem. They're a problem. But the bigger problem are the ones who sign off silently on what the bullies are doing. And y'all gonna give me a whole lot of trouble now. And the only way to bring out the silent demons is hurt their pocket. Or they're gonna come out the woodworks once you start messing with their cheese. They will show up. And then when they do that, but we can't sit. We just can't. You just can't take that. Oh, you gotta stand up. Gotta put strategy together, and you have to know who the honest players are. One more time. This dude, Jesus, he comes and he's gonna do a lot of good stuff. You figure he's gonna do some good stuff. You figure some people, some places got issues going on, and he said, I'm gonna show up and see if I can help them out. So he give people their legs back, their eyes back, their hearing back.
All the dude did was good work. But somebody still got upset. Somebody decided that they hated him for what? Good work. They paid somebody. I better say that one more time. Yep. They found somebody they could pay. That's better. They found someone they could pay. There's always somebody you can pay. I just don't know who it is yet. But somebody is always in the room that's willing to be paid to stop the good work that happens for the masses, always. So you have to find out who that Judas is. And not be afraid. Judas might be your cousin. Might be your pastor. I said might be your pastor. I said might be your pastor. I said might be your pastor. See, that's what y'all see, y'all become uncomfortable with that. Pastors actually take bribes from people. But I'm not supposed to say that. I don't. But some do. Y'all don't like me no more. I'm not supposed to say this, but I'm going to say it because it's the truth. Pastors who don't mind being paid to sell out their people are not the people I'm here for. I'm here for the people that they sell out. You understand? So I'm going to say it. Y'all already feel me in trouble, right? I mean, so much you can feel me in trouble, right? But I look cool doing it, which is a whole nother issue. Which is a whole nother issue. So again, action has to be taken, but for that to happen, you have to assemble a team that you can trust. And even then, if you have 12, one of them still might be the devil who gonna take back the information. So the strategy has to be so tight that even when Judas is in the room, he still can't stop what you need to do. So I say all that to say, you have to find out who the players are. There are some elected demons, Democrat and Republican. See, y'all don't like me no more again. Y'all know it's but that's not. Look, an elected Republican, an elected Democrat, whatever they want to call themselves, doesn't make a difference to me. If they're hurting little people, they're hurting the grandmas and the children. Those are not people I need to be making sure they're comfortable. They need to be uncomfortable. One more time. They need to be uncomfortable. Or grandma not gonna get her medication. Because you're trying not to hurt the demons' feelings. Okay, let me stop. Okay, y'all. They don't like me, no.
You hitting it on the nail, Pastor. You hit it on the nail. It's true. $880 million is what they're looking for as far as cutting, and there's nowhere to get it from besides Medicaid, and someone is definitely reaping the benefits from that. And in my opinion, there's one person in charge.
Can I?
Sure.
Was there a tax cut, $8 trillion worth of tax cuts?
The last tax code, yes.
That they have
They're
on the
trying to
books?
propose it again.
They're trying, okay, 8 trillion.
Yep.
I said trillion. 8 trillion. Trillion. Tax cut. Hallelujah. Thank you, Jesus.
That's
But
right.
y'all look about it, but then they're going to say, for you, I am not going to tax your tips. While you're celebrating that.
Right.
No, that's why I'm so much. While you're celebrating that, I'm so glad they're not taxing my tip. What they're actually saying is that we resign you to being a waiter or waitress for the rest of your life. So you're happy, but I have to make sure that you stay in an occupation that only gives you tips.
Wow. Yep.
Because that 8 trillion ain't about you.
Right. That's right.
Lord, they coming for me tomorrow. And everything behind that, everything behind those tips are so that the little guy go, oh, something in it for me.
Right.
No.
Right.
That 8 trillion is what you need to be looking at. That's
right.
for somebody else. So I said that to say, if we can give $8 trillion back,
Mm-hmm.
and when you look at it, the tips and everything else are outside of the 8 trillion tax cut.
Right.
Glory. So if we can find $8 trillion to give back to people who are not working normal jobs where they get tips,
Mm-hmm.
they have zero reason for even looking to touch or cut Medicare, Medicaid. Okay, I'm stopping.
Thank you, Pastor. No, go ahead. It brings us to our next.
Y'all better keep Bill on
Brings me to my next question about the economy, and you touched on it, Pastor. But we'll start with Penny on this side. Penny, just like the pastor laid out, it affects if someone's getting paid, right? If you could just, as a healthcare worker, how do these cuts to Medicaid will ripple out to our local economy? How would it affect just the local person?
Like I said earlier, as in the healthcare, it'll stop them from getting proper care. They want to come to the hospital, they can't, because the door's going to be so crowded. They gonna, instead of waiting 20 minutes in the ER, you're waiting 2 days or longer because the line is going to be so long. Because they don't have the staff to take care of the people that's already in there. So you can't get the people in there out unless you're taking them out in body bags. It's gonna be, that's what they create, a new epidemic, another COVID. But it's gonna be on a more personal level. It's not gonna, it's going to affect the air that we breathe because we're going to be stifled and choked on the fact that we can't get health care. It's not for the people who are on private insurance. The private insurances is going to feel it too. They're going to feel it the worst, as well as these owners of these nonprofit and basically the for-profit hospitals. They're going to end up shutting their doors. They're out. It's all, healthcare already is about money. It's not about the patients. So it's, and when you affect their pockets. Okay. Non-profit hospitals and for-profit hospitals, basically the for-profit hospitals, are gonna really feel it. And when they feel it, that's when they're going to go knocking on Congress' door. Right now, they're not feeling it because they're making money. They're making money. They made a lot of money off of COVID. But it's going to be reversed. It's going to be reversed. So the healthcare, they're going to start speaking up. The doctors are going to speak up because they're not going to be taking patients who don't have insurance. Then you ain't going to be able to go to the doctor's office.
Right.
The minute clinics, they're not going to take you.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And their clinic's going to have to be renamed because it ain't going to be minutes no more. It's going to be days, months. Right now, it's already taking you to get a doctor's appointment, it's taking you months. So imagine Medicaid gone.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I have a lot of personal stories, a lot of personal interests that it's really going to affect kids that's on foster care.
Yep.
Kids that are who are in the state custody,
Mm-hmm.
where they put more kids with ICE. Those kids, where do they get their health care from? Medicaid. Right. They get their health care from Medicaid. So if that's cut, What are all those foster kids gonna do? What are all those kids that are cared for in the state custody or government custody? What are they gonna do for health care? What are these people who are mentally challenged from birth, even from life? What are they gonna do? They already shut down a lot of the mental hospitals. Lot of people, we see them on the streets. They're not gonna have no medicine to calm those demons inside them. So, where are they gonna be? Knocking on your doors, knocking on our doors, everybody gonna be scared to come out the house. We already getting there. Without the custom Medicaid, with all the drugs and stuff on the streets. So, yeah,
Thank you, Penny, for that.
it's gonna be rough.
It is. So buckle up. So we're about to close out. Thank you guys for answering some of the questions. But to close us out strong, Laura, if you could just give what you're looking. What's the hope? What's the end game that we would want to do as a free clinic? What are you looking to not happen, or what are you looking forward to getting something accomplished as far as us as a team getting stuff actions done?
I mean, that's a loaded question. I've been kind of in an existential crisis myself when it comes to my profession. I've been in a nonprofit career. My whole professional career has been serving people, and I'm starting to feel like we need to have larger, more courageous conversations about whose responsibility is it to take care of each other. Because privatizing medicine and privatizing prisons and all of these things, and even the insurance industry as a whole, it is designed to make money off the backs of the poor and the disenfranchised and the sick. And it's going to continue to do that. Those hospitals are going to continue to pull that profit, and their salaries, their salaries are all going to go down before they lose their profits. And so, we're all going to feel it in all of our jobs, because you can't keep providing care for pennies. I mean, so, we have to have a larger conversation, because this is my TED Talk, if all the nonprofits and the churches suddenly said, we are not going to enable this capitalist system that just spits out people, and we are expected to pick that up and care for them. If we said no more, what happens when people are hungry and sick and there is nowhere for them to go? Where are they going to go? Do we all close our doors for a few days and say, go sit at the state capitol? Let's send them all, the poor, the sick, the children, the elderly. If they are suddenly lining somebody else's front doorstep, whose responsibility is it to care for them? I believe as a nonprofit, as a free clinic, I am enabling this system, because I am taking care of the people that are byproducts of a broken system. And so we need to have some really courageous conversations about how we see the future of our communities. This is talking about caring for our kids and our elderly and each other. So is it the government's responsibility? I don't know, right? I have ideas, but we need to be having those so that we can make the vision irresistible.
Thank you, Laura. Thank you for that. Pastor, to close this out, if you could give us what are your thoughts as to what the next step should be? As important as Medicaid is, as important as for us to stand up as a community, what are your thoughts as to what we do next?
Laura said it. We get disturbed by the distractions. There's noise. Don't let the noise distract you. They keep moving things around. They're moving things around so you don't see what I'm doing over here. Don't fall for that. It's elders being harmed, children being harmed. Whatever they're moving around, whatever they broadcast, don't go. Elders are still being harmed, children are still being harmed. That's the problem that we can fix. if we realize we have power. If we realize we have power. Once we realize we have power, you have choice. You don't have to. You just say, you gotta shut it down. But we don't, what am I gonna do? No, shut it down. But it's, okay, I'm gonna give y'all this here. And just my problem with preachers, because they do things for, I love preachers. I do. No, I absolutely do. I live my life because I'm one. I know what they go through. I know what they go through. But some of them trifling. 954-922-6098. I ain't scared of them. Some of them trifling. And the ones that's trifling need to become better. So here's what I'm about to say. Because I care for people, because I'm up at 4 a.m. with God, I'm doing that. Those who are not doing that are not doing that. How dare they come in and grab my recipe?
Wow, come on. Wow.
When they're not up doing the work. They just wait until you make it, they dissect what you did, and then they pour that out for other people. They mad right now. They mad. Y'all mad. They mad right now. But they're not my audience. They're my brothers, my sisters, I love them, but they're still not my audience. I'm not on this planet so they can feel good about stealing. So what I am on the planet for is the disenfranchised, for the elders, for the grandmas, for the children who don't have, children do have a voice. Don't ever think children don't have a voice. Watch it. Have you heard them cry? Y'all missed me what I just said. Children have a voice. Have you heard them cry? The voice of Rachel's children crying at Ramah. That's what Jesus says. Have you heard them cry?
Yes.
They don't know how to articulate it, but they know when they're in pain. Have you heard the children cry? It's an adult responsibility to do something about that. So we have to mobilize. So here's what the preacher's gonna steal. They already stole it. They're gonna steal it again. But here's what the preacher's gonna steal. There are many strategies to make sure that elders and children get what they need. Many strategies. But one of those is the power of organized noise.
Yes. All right. Yes.
See, there it is right there. That means she's teaching this one. She's stealing this here. That's what that means right there. This stuff be good. You don't sit with God no 4 a.m. See, but the whole point is, I am not Dr. King. I'm not. Dr. King did his job. I'm going to do mine. So just as he wrote, I have a dream, and nobody would take that and put the name on it like they did it. What comes through me because it's supposed to come through me.
That's right.
It's not to be stolen and somebody just take it and minimize the strategy for Sunday morning sermon. You understand? So I believe the power of organized noise, making noise that doesn't make change, is all over the place. So we don't mind making noise, but there's no strategy to it. Making noise that doesn't make change is just noise. But the power of organized noise is we know how to be quiet, we know how to be silent, we know how to march in unison, we know how to come together, we've been trained how to come together. We know how to confront those who are confronting us in a nonviolent way, understanding our posture and composure when we confront them is doggone it, we're going to win. Y'all don't hear me what I say now. We don't show up as losers. We're going to win. We are going to win. All the bully need to know that you'll face them eyeball to eyeball and tell them what's wrong is wrong and it's going to still be wrong tomorrow. Y'all want another one? What's wrong at 9 a.m. is still wrong at 9 p.m. Why you tripping? Look here, if it's wrong at 9 a.m., we gonna win. I spank that tail at 9 p.m. Well, that's over. No, it's still wrong. Don't fall for that. So we can make change, but you have to be brave. You have to be courageous, because they're gonna send some pretty little demons in. Send some pretty little demons in to distract you. So I give you, so power of organized, no, there's plenty, there's absolute plenty more as soon as people sit down and listen and learn. You can do this. But right now, you have to empower the good people. That's not happening. We're looking at the bad folk. We're not empowering the good people. There's some good people out here. There's some good people in healthcare. There's some good people all over this country. There's some really good people. But the distraction is we focus on the knuckleheads so much that the good people don't feel like they have. No, you have to mobilize those good people. And a collection of good people who stand up to folk who know they bad, they're going to say some stuff, don't matter. We going to win. I should have did that. I should articulate that properly. We are going to win. I like the way I said it the first time. We going to win. We gonna win.
Thank you, Pastor. Appreciate it. Give a round of applause for our esteemed panelists here today. It was great hearing the perspectives of each of you during this crisis. Of course, the main thing is for us to do something, not just stand still. As I said, if you're not resisting, you're assisting this. And so we want to make sure to do that. We want to take questions. If you guys have any questions or comments for our panel. Yes. Oh.
When are the Medicaid cuts supposed to go into play?
So they haven't been voted on yet. Once they are voted on, they will. They did a vote at the beginning of the year. And so they're still figuring out where those quote-unquote savings will come from. And so at this moment, we're looking, I think there's today, I'm not sure. A special shout out to Congresswoman Debbie Wasserman Schultz staff who is here joining us, great supporters. We've been to several of their roundtables and town halls where the Congresswoman is pissed about this. I can't say enough how upset she is about this. And so she's going to continue to advocate for us, continue to make sure that our voices are heard in the Capitol. If you guys got this flyer, the next action that you should take is that little QR code down there, and it'll connect you to your congressman or your congresswoman, and please encourage them to vote no on these crazy cuts. Any more questions or comments for our great panel? Yes. Sure.
I have one more question in regards to can you please name the programs besides Medicaid? What are some of the other programs that will be affected? I think I remember someone saying SNAP, but what are some of the other programs so that I'm on Facebook Live as well, so that some of those Facebook families can understand how important it is for them to know and how to be an advocate for this as well.
Yes, so Medicaid and Medicare is a broad statement, right? It's a big umbrella. And so part of it does cover SNAP. And SNAP provides many programs for our children. They provide food, for Christ's sake, right? It's essential for our children to eat. And so SNAP is part of the programs that will be affected by it. Medicaid, Medicare, as you know, covers and funds our hospitals and our nursing homes, which in turn, if there are no funds going into the hospital, Penny might lose a job. And if Penny loses her job, guess what? She can't buy groceries. And if she can't buy groceries, things go down really fast. And so that's how it affects the economy. That's how it affects locally. Those are just some of the programs. But in an umbrella, Medicaid covers everything from foster children, believe it or not, foster children. The Florida Kids Care covers the programs, after-school programs in the schools, which is funded by SNAP. And so it's nonstop. It's all across the board, and we encourage folks to please call a congresswoman or congressman to tell them that these cuts cannot happen. If you come across, if your congressperson is Debbie Wasserman Schultz, thank her for the advocacy if you get her. So please continue to call, put the pressure on. That's how it's done. And yes, believe it or not, it's so broad that everyone will be affected by this. Any other questions or comments? Yes.
I mean, I think this roundtable is super great to share with community, especially I'm working with Hispanic community, and I feel when I spoke with them about how they feel about this situation, if they have, a family member who will provide lost their Medicaid or Medicaid. And one of the person, I love my Medicaid for my kids, and one of my kids have a special condition, and I need to pay for therapy that is too much. Like, I can pay for the therapy for my kids, and I know, and I have a good job, and also I can pay for that. So, I mean, I think it's a good idea to do more roundtable like this, but to invite people and do the roundtable also if we can. I can participate in Spanish. So people in South Miami, where I am, they don't know what's going on. If we are trying to take action and call, the people who are responsible of this, we need to educate people. We need to have more roundtable to start educating people to have more results.
Thank you so much. Yes, absolutely. That's absolutely right. You have a question? Yes. Oh, yes.
She's absolutely correct. We look at this, Medicaid cuts equal job cuts, but I read that and I go, does that affect me? I don't know. You know what I mean? We need flyers with everything on there. Do you take advantage of these programs? Whoa, yes, I do. Oh my God, this is going to be affected by Medicaid cuts? That's what we have to do, because then it gets you invested into it. By reading Medicaid cuts, billions of dollars, if you're the normal person, you don't know what that means. But if you tell me my kid has a speech impediment and someone comes to the school to help them, and now they're not getting that, now I'm pissed, right? So we have to do a better job of educating and organizing, and we have to be putting these on the flyers. Thank you.
Thank you, Nick, for that. I appreciate it. Our new vice president for HCA, Nick. And yes, we are looking into that. We actually have an event coming up in about a month. It's called Medicaid para Todo, which is focused on our Latino members who have no idea what's going on. So we'll be in touch. Yep, we'll do that for sure. So we'll talk. But we definitely have that. Any other questions or comments? Yes.
First of all, thank you all for having this round table, and the message definitely needs to be incrementally broken down to the community, so all of the valid points. And we have to keep on having these courageous conversations. With that being said, mark your calendars. And I would like, do we have a sign-in sheet here with these? Yeah, because I am hosting a focus group. Somebody's coming down from our national with Faith in Florida. And I am on May the 30th at 10 o'clock at the Friendship Missionary Baptist Church in Hollandale Beach, Florida. And I'm gonna, I want to, some of you all, I want all of you all to come, but I definitely want a lot of y'all to be there, because what it is, it's a focus group, and we're gonna have this conversation to see, strategize to see how do we take these steps and do something, take action. Pastor Anderson, and that, just so y'all will know, that's my big brother. He used to be my youth pastor growing up. And so he said this right here about empowering, that we have a power, but people don't, it's good people out there that have power. So anyway, to build this and not just say, make good quotes and get, whatever, to take action. That's why I love SEIU, because you all are action based people and so, group, right? And Faith in Florida is glad to work with SEIU. So the 10 o'clock, and we're doing a focus group, and I want to invite you all. This will be my first one. Let me say that. It'll be my first one dealing with Medicaid, Medicaid focus. I'm the healthcare person for Faith in Florida. And so my feet is in the water, but I have a long way to go, and it's going to take the whole village to help me grow. And so I wanted to say that and just thank you all for this round table. And we are going to do something. We are going to build power, and we are going to take action. And preferably when we all come together, we're going to turn this thing around.
Thank you, Catrice. May 30th, 10 a.m. Yep. Great. And again, thank you again to Faith in Florida for hooking this up, and the South Broward Ministry Alliance as well. Thank you so much, Catrice, for that. Any more comments or questions for our great panel? Oh, I'm Jason Morales. I am the political coordinator for SEIU 1199. It's my esteemed pleasure to represent folks like Penny, work with people like Nick and Catrice, future with the pastor, and of course with great congresswoman and staff to kind of bring all of it together to make sure that we know what's going on in these streets and we do something about it. And so we're looking forward to our next roundtable. We don't know when that is, but since we don't, make sure to attend Faith in Florida's on May 30th at 10 a.m. Other than that, again, thank you for the panel. Thank you, Penny. Thank you, Laura. Thank you, Pastor, for your great words and your inspiration. And thank you, audience, for coming. And that concludes our panel. Sure, that includes our panel, but one last word from our pastor.
All right. We thank all of you all, and I've said this so many times. First of all, this is a rectangle table, not a round table. I got to teach y'all how to be precise, man. It's a rectangle table, not a round, but it's rectangle. Whatever it is, it's rectangle. But also in this room, I've said it many times before, so I'm going to say it again. We have a lot of what we need in this room already. You guys are already the good people. One more time. You guys are already the good people. Yes. You're already the good people. Don't diminish that. I've said it so many times. Faith in Florida is one of our premier organizations who have so much potential. And I've said it before, so I'm going to say it again, but still not utilizing the power that has been given them. Right. I'm telling you that strategically they are the one, but there's more that we can utilize from them. Say my name right here, SEIU 1199. 1199 SEIU. All right, I want to make sure I get it right. Also, Amen. Girl, go ahead. What make you think I can read? I'm gonna struggle with it. 1199 SEIU. I've actually seen you in many places, and you also have that power. But I'm coming to stroke you. I'm finna put some on you. You all can operate at a greater degree of clarity as well. You have to take the labels off. They're union busting all over this country. Yes or yes? Yes or yes? Yes. They can't see y'all. Y'all can say something. Yes. They're union busting all over this country. Yes, they are. But when you do justice work, people don't care until it comes to them. That's it. Sadly. Yep. They won't mobilize until it comes to them. They don't care. They got other things to do. Very few people care. I'm one of them before it comes to me. Because I can see when bullies working. So they want the unions busted, whatever jargon they want to give. They want unions busted so they can take advantage of people. And y'all gonna have to start telling folk that. Union ain't about union. Union about
your loved ones getting a fair shake on the employment that allowed their families to be fed.
That's right.
Y'all all right?
Right, that's right.
Come talk to me about union. People not in the union don't care. You're going to have to make them care by pulling the label off. And this is why we are unified. Because if we are not, people will take us back and take advantage of us just as they did before. We can't. Anybody in here?
Yes, we are.
I'm in so much trouble.
I'm with you. I'm with you.
But trouble, it's good trouble, still trouble. I mean, good trouble, still trouble. But somebody gonna have to get off the sideline and come join this mindset because you already have the power. The Congresswoman's office, I'm finna get in more trouble. She's been faithful, but I'm finna get in some more trouble. If we're gonna win, this is not about red and blue. You will not win that argument. It's me talking. This the strategy. You will not win that argument because, as Nick said, people who, you gotta respect people that don't know. Don't blame people that don't know. The people who don't know, make that list you just talked about. Good strategy. But the people who don't know, if you come to them talking about what red is doing, come to blue, nobody's buying that. That's high school.
Right.
Whatever your high school was, you had a team that y'all didn't like each other. Anybody in here? Everybody in here. Everybody know who that school is. And what's crazy about that is if we saw each other at the McDonald's afterwards, there was going to be a problem. Thank you, Teresa. I appreciate that. There was going to be a problem. At the least, we're going to fuss about it, right? So we number one, we number one, we number one, we number one. But I've learned something, and y'all need to learn it too. I had nothing to do as a 15-year-old, 16-year-old with where my parents bought a house or rented an apartment and resided. Nothing. Nobody asked me nothing. But I'm wearing the school's colors. And I'm saying, we're number one, we're number one, we're number one. And ready to fight about it at the McDonald's.
Yep.
Only to realize if my parents would have bought a house or rented an apartment.
In that area.
Y'all with me now? Yeah.
In that area.
In the area of my rival, I would have been wearing those colors.
That's right.
I would have been on that side. And I would have been passionate about saying, we're number one. And if I saw y'all at the McDonald's, it might be some trouble. My point is, we're not 16 anymore. So we don't need to be having conversations about red and blue. Because we're going to lose that battle. We need to have conversations about who cares and who doesn't. Wait, no. We already know who's affected.
Well, we gotta educate.
But if you go red and blue, even the people who, have y'all been paying attention? The people who have been affected will still go, I'm red.
Yep.
High school, y'all.
They learning.
Strategy, we got to get to a place where red and blue and some folk blue going to be telling me, say blue, we won't, whatever. I want people to be all right.
People.
Because there is a category of elected officials who are actually focusing on the people as if they care. We should be focusing on red and blue, you're going to lose that argument. But care and don't care, now somebody paying attention. I don't care whether you're red or blue. Look at what these folks have put in place. You telling me that's care? That's care and don't care. So I'm asking you all, it is time. If it's not now, I don't know when.
That's it.
This is us. Last thing, Jack Welch, GE CEO, Six Sigma, he created, invented. But there's a portion of his life strategy I live with. You cut what bleeds last. As a CEO, you have a responsibility to take care of the company. But you shouldn't just rush to hurting people, cutting people. There may be some things around. If you're kind enough to put in the effort, you may find you can reduce this without harming people. Cut what bleeds last.
Thank you, Pastor. Give it a round of applause again for our panel. Thank you again for coming out. Before you leave, please make sure you sign our little sign-in sheet so we have your information, so we could update you on other events coming up. So thank you again for coming.
I have one more thing, because I
Yes.
got to get myself out of trouble for real. Because y'all don't know how many times y'all said pissed. Anybody want to take an account? Boy, y'all pissed so much. Y'all said pissed so many times. 1 Samuel chapter 25, verse 22. So and more also do God unto the enemies of David, if I leave all that pertain to him by morning light, any that pisseth against the wall. I just want to read y'all some scriptures so y'all know it's it. Y'all being pissed off is biblical, okay? That's all I want.